Okay, good morning, everybody. And now I am going to show you. This is my lesson plan. The course, the course name is Intensive English One. The level is university level, and the time to develop this lesson is going to be 45 minutes. Okay, in the background information of the students, we have the description of students here. They are teenagers who study at a university level. They are in the first year of their studies. The range of age is between 20 and 26 years old. Okay, let's move on to the objectives. Okay, after watching this macro teaching, students will be able to, number one, compare and rank 5 jokes and choose which one is the best. It's the class. Okay, dear student, the class is gonna be kind of interesting today. Number two, tell their personal opinion about humor questions during the class. That is the second objective. Then we have here the content. In grammar, we have some comparison and the vocabulary related to humor, and the pronunciation of laughed and aft. It is almost the same, right? Now the integrated skill is listening. Okay, let's continue with the listening skills. Okay, good morning, class. This is to start with. I'm going to start telling you a joke. Okay, who wants to hear a joke? Me, teacher. Excellent. You're a good student. Um, as you can see, I'm going to make this video like a monologue because, as you can see, I couldn't work with anybody else. So I'm gonna sometimes it's gonna be the teacher and sometimes it's gonna be the student. Now I am the teacher, right? Okay, the word map. I'm going to tell you a joke, and this is joke. It is about a penguin. Okay, one day a man was driving his car, and next to him it was a penguin. When suddenly a police stopped them and said to them, "Hey, what are you doing with a penguin with your car?" And the man said, um, "We are just taking a walk. We're just uh, I'm just giving in a ride," said the man. And the policeman said to him, "Hey, that is not allowed. Take the penguin to the zoo." And the man said, "Okay, I'll take it right away." Okay, the next day, the policeman was working on the street when suddenly he saw the same guy that he saw yesterday. And what a surprise! The man was with the penguin under his arm. And the police stopped them and asked to the man, "Hey, I told you to take the penguin to the zoo yesterday. What are you doing? Where are you going?" And the man said, "Oh, I took the penguin to the zoo, but we really have a lot of fun with him. And because of that, I'm taking him to the movie theater. We're going to see a movie." I don't know if you understood the joke, but it is kind of interesting. Jokes are things, are stories, small stories that make you laugh, and laugh is very healthy. Did you like the joke, student? Now I'm student, and I am the student. I'm playing the role of student. Yes, teacher. Very interesting talk. Very interesting joke. In fact, I'm not good at telling jokes, but it was fine. It was good. I like it. Okay, now let's continue with the next activity. This was just the warm up. Okay, guys, let's move on. Now we are going to work on your workbook on page 108. Go and open it. Okay, here we have the page. This is the part of the page. What do you have there? We have a listening part. And it says, listen and read the 5 jokes. Then score them 1 to 5. 1 means not funny at all. 5 means very funny. So compare with a partner. Okay, I want you to pay attention to this listening exercise. And then after you listen up these jokes, you have to choose from 1 to 5, from the funniest to the one which is not so fun. But we're going to listen the audio, which is the 7.9. So pay attention, guys, and concentrate yourself. Okay, teacher, go ahead.
7.9. 1.
Did you hear about the man who was so proud when he completed a jigsaw in half an hour? It said 5 to 6 years on the box.
2.
What kind of murderer has fibre? A serial killer.
3.
Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson went camping. They pitched their tent under the stars and went to sleep. Sometime in the middle of the night, Holmes woke Watson and said, "Watson, look up at the sky and tell me what you see." Watson said, "I can see millions and millions of stars." Holmes said, "And what do you deduce from that, Watson?" Watson replied, "Well, if there are millions of stars, and even if a few of those stars have planets, then it's quite likely there are some planets like ours out there. And if there are planets like Earth out there, there might also be life." And Holmes said, "Watson, you idiot, it means that someone has stolen our tent."
4.
A man goes to a hospital for a checkup. After weeks of tests, the doctor tells the man he has some good news and some bad news. "What's the bad news?" asks the man. "You have a rare and incurable disease," says the doctor. "And what's the good news?" asks the man. And the doctor says, "We're going to name it after you."
5.
2 hunters are out in the woods when one of them collapses. He doesn't seem to be breathing and his eyes are glazed. The other guy takes out his phone and calls the emergency services. He gasps, "I think my friend is dead. What can I do?" The operator says, "Calm down, I can help. First, let's make sure he's dead." There is silence. And then a shot is heard. Back on the phone, the guy says, "Okay, now what?"
Okay, guys, those were the 5 jokes. Now, I would like to hear your opinions. Which one did you like the most? Or which one calls more your attention? Or which one was the one who you understood the more? Understood. Hey, teacher. As you can see, we're learning English, and I didn't understand most of them, but the one that I really liked is the Sherlock Holmes. That was the one that it was really understandable for me. Okay, okay, student, tell me. What did you learn, or what can you tell me about this joke? Okay, teacher, it was very interesting because it was a conversation, right? They were laying down maybe in a forest, and Watson asked to Holmes, "Holmes, look up the star and tell me what do you see?" And they start chatting, and at the end, Holmes didn't realize that the pen was stolen, and that was very funny, and I really like it. Hey, thank you for your participation, Alex. You're Alex, right? Oh, see, yes, teacher, I'm Alex. Thank you. I appreciate that you don't forget my name. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so for you, which one do you think is the best? Okay, teacher, I will classify like the Sherlock Holmes. It's the best for me. That I will name it that. I will say that's the I will give it a 5 because that's very funny, and the one that the one that follows it, I would say that the number two. What kind of murderer has fiber? A serial killer. um, I didn't get that one, teacher. Oh really? Me neither. I didn't understand that one too. Did you hear about the new email? Okay. Okay, this one I agree with you. This one was the one that it calls more my attention, and it was the one that I understand more. Okay, let's move on. Now that was the pre-listening activity. Yeah, this was the activity number one. Now we're going to continue with the next activity, which is another listening activity. Okay, now we are going to listen to our research, right? So try to concentrate and don't look at your cell phone, because if you are not paying attention, you won't be able to answer these questions that we have there on your notebook on page 109, sorry. Okay, the audio is the 7.9. So keep silence and pay attention, please. So give me a second. I don't know what happened here. Okay, it is here. Here it is. It's not.
7.11. Part 2.
No. Sorry. I have technical issues here, but give me a couple of seconds and I'll solve it as soon as I can. Okay, here it is, the one that I wanted to hear. Okay, that's it. So pay attention and keep silence. I know that we have some interference.
7.10.
Okay, listen.
Part 1.
What was the purpose of Professor Wiseman's research? Was it simply to find the funniest joke?
No, it was much more than that. He wanted to take what he calls a scientific look at what makes us laugh. And this included finding answers to questions like, do people from different countries find the same things funny? Or do men and women laugh at different types of jokes?
And could you tell us something about the results of his research?
Well, the first thing that came out clearly was that the jokes which people generally found the funniest had one thing in common. They create a sense of superiority in the person hearing or reading the joke, usually because the person in the joke appears to be stupid. This is clearly illustrated in the Sherlock Holmes joke, where Watson is the one who is shown to be stupid. Generally speaking, the more superior a joke makes us feel, the more we laugh. And it seems that we especially enjoy jokes where people in authority are made to look stupid, which is why there are so many jokes all over the world about policemen.
And is there an explanation for this?
Yes, there is. According to Professor Wiseman, telling this kind of joke is simply our way of getting our own back on people in authority, people who have power over us in our daily lives.
What about the jokes people tell about other nationalities being stupid?
Well, again, this is the superiority theory in action. The English traditionally tell jokes about the Irish. The Mexicans make fun of the Americans. The French laugh at the Belgians, etc., etc. And in each case, it's a question of one group of people trying to make themselves feel good at the expense of another, by laughing about how stupid they are.
I think it was Sigmund Freud who said that we laugh at things which are subconsciously making us feel anxious. Is this true?
Well, Professor Wiseman's research definitely supported this theory. For example, older people tend to find jokes about the problems of getting old much funnier than young people do. Everybody worries to a greater or lesser extent about getting an incurable illness, which is why we laugh at the joke about the man who has an incurable disease, which of course in reality is not a laughing matter. And for the same reason, there are many, many jokes about loveless marriages, family problems, and even death.
Why do we find wordplay funny?
Professor Wiseman's research found that wordplay was enjoyed by many nationalities. The joke about the serial killer is an example of the most basic kind of joke, what we call a pun, where we play with words which have different meanings or different words which are pronounced the same. It seems that we find puns funny because the first line of the joke usually sets up a situation. Then the second line, the punchline, at first seems strange, but then suddenly we get the joke. We understand it. And this feeling of surprise makes us laugh. Surprise is a very important element in humor.
Do men and women laugh at the same things?
Apparently not. Generally speaking, women find jokes with wordplay more amusing, whereas men often prefer jokes which involve some element of aggression or sex. Perhaps not surprisingly, women find jokes about men being stupid far funnier than jokes about women being stupid. And of course, the opposite is true. So, for example, a woman will probably find the joke about the man doing the jigsaw funnier than the man does. That's the superiority theory in action again.
Do different nationalities find the same kind of jokes funny?
Well, the answer, it seems, is no. Professor Wiseman's research found clear differences between different countries and cultures as to what they found amusing. For example, people from Britain, Ireland, and Australia enjoyed jokes based on wordplay, whereas Americans and Canadians preferred jokes where there was a strong sense of superiority, either because a character looks stupid or is made to look stupid by someone else. And many European countries preferred jokes which were more surreal.
Okay. That was all. That's it. I don't know if you understood the research, but they were making a research about why do we like jokes, right? So let's try to. I'm going to try to. You are going to try to answer these questions. The number one: what does the journalist say that the funniest joke have in common? Okay, I'm all ears. Anybody, any volunteer? No? Okay, what about you, Alex? Okay, teacher, I didn't listen that. I didn't listen that part. Maybe I could answer another question. Okay, let's move on. Okay, what about the number two? Why do we enjoy hearing jokes about people in authority? What about you, Alex? Because you're the only one here. Okay, teacher. What can I say about it? Hearing jokes about people in authority. I guess we enjoy this kind of jokes because we make fun, we mock from the authority, from police. In fact, there are a lot of jokes for that involves policemen and the authority, and that's why we make that. It makes us laugh. It makes us laugh because we are showing their superiority, and at least that's what I get from the listening. Okay, thank you for your participation. But what about the number three? Who do the English, who do the English, the Mexicans, and the French tell jokes about, and why? Hey, that one is very easy, teacher, because the I don't know the guy in the interview says that English makes jokes from the Mexican, Mexicans makes jokes from the English, and vice versa, and that's very common, right? And why? I don't know, because as he was saying, when somebody is making a joke from other nationality, it is because they wanted to show superiority, or they want to show that they are better than the other people. Okay, thank you. Let's move on the question number four. What was Sigmund Freud's theory about humor? No, sorry, teacher, I didn't get that one. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's move on to the number five. Just give me a couple of seconds. I'm going to scroll down a little bit this. Okay, number five. No, yes, number five. What? Alex, read it for me, please. Okay, teacher. What kind of jokes do all people find especially funny? That one was very easy. In the interview, in the listening, they were discussing and they were saying that the all people likes jokes that involves diseases when you are getting old, right? you are making jokes of things to make life to make life easier. Uh, the thing is that you don't need to take things very seriously. That's why a joke can help you, and of course, if you laugh, that is healthy. Thank you. Number 6. What is a pun? Which joke is an example of a pun? Okay, to be honest, I was searching this word on the internet and it was kind of confusing for me. It is similar wordplay. It means that you are playing with the words that are very similar. Maybe the spelling is different, and maybe you didn't understand the joke at the first time, but when you listening to it the second time, you got the idea. And they mentioned there that the important element it is the surprise, because you when you realize what the joke was about, you got surprised and said, "Oh, now I get it." Maybe at first time you didn't get it, but that's what's upon, right? Right. Okay, let's move on. Number 7. What differences were found between men and women's sense of humor? Okay, teacher. Okay, Alex, go ahead. Okay, they were discussing and saying that women's and men, their sense of humor is not the same. For example, men's are going to look in a joke sex, aggression, violence, and and on the other hand, women's they will look in a joke other characteristics that are completely opposites to the ones that men's like. Hey, very good. I like your point of view and I agree with you. Okay, let's move on to the number 8. Do different nationalities enjoy the same kind of jokes? Give examples. No, I will say. What about you, Alex? Okay, go ahead, Alex. I'm Alex. Okay, teacher. I will say that. I will say no, right? Some people find jobs interesting, but there are some others that they are not gonna like it. For example, if you are in a table with friends and you are telling a joke which involves offending someone, maybe their religion, maybe the skin color, you are gonna be in trouble, right? Because you are offending the you are showing superiority, but I won't recommend doing that. That's why you need to be careful when telling jokes. Okay, now we are going to listen the listening part 2 in the audio, which is the next. We were in 7.10. Now the next part is 7.11, right? Give me a couple of seconds. Okay, here it is. 7.11. No, we are already there. Okay, listen up please. Don't look at your cell phone. Pay attention. Concentrate yourself.
7.11. Part 2.
So, which joke was voted the funniest?
Well, in second place was the joke about Sherlock Holmes and the tent. But in first place was the joke about the two hunters. This joke won because it was universal. It appealed to people in many countries, to men and women, and young and old people alike. And it also combined the classic 3 elements of humor. It makes us feel superior, it makes us laugh at an anxiety-provoking situation, an accident and death, and it has a strong element of surprise.
Who submitted the winning joke?
It was sent in by a British psychiatrist from Manchester. Apparently, he told Professor Wiseman that he sometimes tells it to his patients to make them feel better because it reminds them that there's always someone who is doing something more stupid than they are.
And did Professor Wiseman think that he really had found the world's funniest joke?
No, he didn't. According to him, the funniest joke in the world doesn't exist. In the conclusion to his research, he said, "If our research into humor tells us anything, it's that different people find different things funny. Women laugh at jokes in which men look stupid. The elderly laugh at jokes about memory loss or hearing difficulties. People who don't have power laugh at those who are in power. There is no one joke that will make everyone laugh."
Okay, that was the second part of the listening. Okay, here we have another questions, and I hope you have learned, and I hope that you have listened to the audio. Number one, which joke from 1 to 5 was voted the funniest? Okay, according to you, the most funniest was this one, right? The Sherlock Holmes. That was the funniest. But according to the listening, I don't know if you pay attention to what they were saying, but the one who is the funniest joke is about the hunter, right? Don't ask me why, because I didn't understand either. Number two, who submitted it? And why does he sometimes tell it? Okay, Alex, I'm all ears. Okay, teacher, number two, who submitted it? According to the listening, they say that British psychiatry was the one who submitted the funniest joke, or the one who got the best score, the one who was voted the funniest, which is the hunter joke. And why does he sometimes tell it? Okay, as he works as a psychiatry, he tells the joke to his patients to make them feel good, to make them laugh also. It is a good strategy. It is a good strategy. When I got to get my haircut, the barber man always are chatting with me, and sometimes he tells me some jokes, and we have a very very good chat with him. Okay, thank you, Alex. I'm glad that you enjoy uh, telling jokes and listening and hearing jokes from your people. Number three, that Professor Wiseman believes it is the funniest joke in the world. Why and why? Why or why not? Okay, teacher, according to the listening, they say that the funniest joke does not exist. That's what I could get from the listening. That's right, Alex. You got the point. Exactly. Why do you think this? Why do you think that the funniest joke does not exist? And the answer is very simple, right? Because there are some people that they could laugh at a joke, but for other people that joke it won't make them laugh. So that's why we cannot categorize one joke or giving the prize or giving the honor to be the funniest. That doesn't exist, and I completely agree with that statement, with that idea. Okay, we're almost finishing. Let's move on to the next part. This is pause listening activity. And here we are going to continue talking, right? Because this is the idea, this is the main objective of this class, that you speak as much as you can. Here the students are going to answer the following questions. Vocabulary and speaking. Let's move on to the lower part of page 109. Look at the questions and with a partner check that you know what the bold words or phrases mean. Okay, here you have some, let's say, questions, right? But you have to pay attention to the words in bold, right? The ones who are emphasized on the question. Let's see the number one. Do people in your country make fun of another nationality in jokes? Which? Okay, I would like to hear from you, Alex. Of course, teachers. That's very common here in El Salvador. We make jokes. We make fun of Guatemalan people, Costa Rican people. In fact, these kind of jobs are very common where we have a competition between a Salvadorian and Guatemalan and a Costa Rican, and one of them wins. And guess what? Who's the winner? Of course, us Salvadorian people, and we're making fun of them. Wow, dude, that you got the point. You got the idea. That's true, right? We make fun of another nationalities in our country, even though that is not recommendable. Okay, let's move on. Make fun of. Make fun of. What do you understand by that word? Okay, make fun of. Make fun of means that you are laughing from somebody else, right? You are laughing, you are mocking, you are I don't know how to say that, but in few words that's what it means. You are laughing from someone. Yes, that's right. You're correct, Alex. Okay, let's move on to the second. Who is probably the most popular comedian in your country nowadays? What is the most popular comedy series on TV? Do you personally like them? Okay, comedian. Do you understand what the word comedian means? Uh, okay, Alex, go ahead. Yes, teacher. Comedian is someone who makes people laugh, right? Who start telling jokes or who start doing silly things. Or that's a comedian for me. Yeah, that's right. Comedian can be anyone, right? Can be your relative, your father, your friend, your lover, whatever, right? The thing is that if he or she makes you laugh, that's a comedian. Now, but we need to know if there is a good comedian in our country. Okay, Alex, go ahead, tell me. Okay, teacher, there is a man or woman, I don't know how can I say it, but it is his name or her name is Latenchis, right? She is very popular here in El Salvador. She is a man, but with he is playing the role of a woman uh, who lives and talks like the woman's from the countryside, and she is very funny. I guess that everybody who, if you go to the streets and ask, "Hey, do you know Latenchis?" I'm 100% sure that they are going to tell you, yes, I know her. I have seen their series on TV or YouTube or whatever, but they are going to say yes because she is very popular. The way he talks or she talks is very funny. Um, I guess I don't recommend people who is learning Spanish to listen to her because they are not gonna be able to understand what she's saying because she's uh, talking or saying slangs, and that is something that only us understand, the Salvadorian. Yes, that's right. That thing she is. In fact, I have seen her in television several times. Okay, Alex. What about the series? Do you know or have you watched a very good comedy lately these days, or in the past? It doesn't. Okay, tell me. Okay, teacher. What about a serious comedy team? I've seen or I recommend you. What about Drake and Josh? Yeah, they are the two brothers. The one that it is slim and the other who is a little bit fat, and they are always in trouble. But the Drake, okay, Drake is always flirting, getting the hottest girl in the school, and Josh is always paying the paying the broken dishes of his brother. I really recommend Drake and Josh. You will have fun watching them on You can look for the videos on YouTube or any other streaming services like Claro Video. You'll find it, and it is very funny. Drake Jones, yes, of course, I remember. That is my childhood. I spent a lot of time, hours and hours watching them when I was having my lunch on my house or my dinner, and I turn on the television and I start watching it, and of course they made me laugh. They are very funny, especially Josh. Oh, well, both of them, but Josh for me is the funniest guy. Let's see. Is there a public? No. Okay. What about the Oscar Wilde was famous for being witty? Is there a public figure on your country who is considered witty? Well, what can you tell me about it, Alex? Yes, teacher. We have here many witty people. Someone who comes to my mind is Cocolito. When we were in the quarantine, right? When we were in our houses, we were not allowed to go out. I watched a video in which he was selling vegetables on the street as the shows, the circus were unable to do their job, but he was very witty because he was doing something that nobody expected to do. He was a comedian. What he could do, maybe some become a YouTuber, a comedian YouTuber, right? But he took the advantage of the situation. He became a seller of vegetable, and I liked that. And his favorite phrase, "Chivo babos," and I like it. It is very. He is witty. He's a very witty comedian, a public figure that we have here in El Salvador. Okay, let's move on. We are almost at the end of the class. What about this one? Do newspapers in your country have political cartoons? Alex, do you read the newspaper? Yes, teacher. Do which one do you read? Oh well, I don't read it, teacher. I only go directly to the cartoon section, and of course we have political cartoons here, and the political cartoons makes you understand what the situation is. The one that we are facing nowadays, it is very terrible, right? With the guns and the police, we are in the middle of a war. Nobody is going to deny this. Okay, yeah, that's true, Alex. We are in a terrible situation here in our country. We need to pray to God to make things change. He's going to change the heart of these teenagers. Okay, let's move on. We are talking about something else. Do we have a favorite cartoonist? Why do you find him her amusing? Alex? No, teacher, I don't know any cartoonist. Okay, me neither. To be honest, I don't know any. I only watch the cartoons, but I don't write the who wrote it or who drew it that cartoon. Okay, do you think that people in your country are good at laughing at themselves, or do they tend to take themselves quite seriously? Alex, what can you tell me about it? Okay, teacher. Yes, in fact, we have a lot of jokes from ourselves, from our culture, and we don't take the things so seriously. Okay, these questions are directed to you. Are you good at telling jokes, Alex? Oh no, teacher, I'm not good at telling jokes. I'm terrible. Nobody laugh when I tells one, and that's why I don't tell jokes because I know that I'm a failure. I can't. Okay, thank you. Would you ever laugh at a joke even if you didn't get it? Would you ever laugh at a joke even if you didn't get it? I don't understand that question, teacher. What does it mean? Okay. It means, for example, if somebody what friend of you tells you a joke, right? But you don't understand what the joke was about. But you said in your mind, I didn't understand it. But it doesn't matter, I'm gonna laugh. That's what it means, the question. Have you ever done that? Oh, now yes, teacher, I got it. I have done it several times. Yeah, me too. I have done it several times too. Okay, let's move on. Which of these kinds of humor do you tend to find funny? Black humor, surreal humor, puns or wordplay, slapstick or irony? Which one is it calls more your attention? Okay, teacher, to be honest, I like the black humor. Sorry. But I don't know why, but when we have black humor, when we talk about things that are prohibited, we laugh, right? I don't know why. And I also like the surreal humor and the irony. Those are the three kind of jokes that makes me laugh. Okay, let's continue. Can you think of a book or a film that was so hilarious that it make you laugh out loud? Okay, a book or a film? Sing, think. Okay, let me see, teacher. Yes, there are several. Almost all the movies from Jim Carrey, those are very funny movies, and they made me laugh out loud. I can't resist. Oh, what about the professor, the crazy professor, right? That he is very fat and he's trying he's trying to have a diet to conquer to have a girl, right? The slender, the thin woman, beautiful. Those are very funny movies, and I like them. Okay, Alex, thank you. Let's move on because we are almost finishing. Time is running out. Have you ever burst or laughing at an embarrassing moment? Oh, to be honest, teacher, yes. When I was in the bus station, I was in the sitting on my seat, and I saw something funny, and I started laughing out loud, and all the people around me was watching me, and said, "Hey, what happened to him? He's crazy." But yes, I have done that too. Okay, the last one. How important is it for you that your friends or colleagues have a good sense of humor? Well, for me, a teacher is very important to have a friend that have good sense of humor because if my friend is boring, it doesn't speak, it doesn't have a sense of humor, we are going to be boring. No, I prefer people who is always active and happy and telling jokes. It is one way of forget the bad moments or to have a good time in this life. As one American woman told me once, life is short, life is too short, so enjoy it. So that's what I want, that's what I like, and that's what I look in a friend. Okay, very good question, very good answer. Okay, just to finish with this activity and with the class, um, honestly, tell me, what did you learn about this lesson, Alex? And we're going to finish with that, with your participation. Okay, teacher, I've learned a lot of things. I've learned that humor is very healthy, and I learned that we need to laugh from ourselves. From time to time, it is good not to take us very seriously. We need to laugh from other people, from ourselves, because we live in a world where everything is so fast. We don't have time to enjoy it. So that's what I learned, teacher. We need to have a good time with our friends, with our family, and with ourselves. And I congratulate you, teacher. The class was very interesting. You are awesome. Okay, thank you, Alex. You're awesome too. And I hope you enjoyed it. And okay, this was my class, and I hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice rest of the day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.